I stopped at Walmart on my way home from work one afternoon to pick up some birthday cards and wrapping paper. As I was perusing the aisle, I heard the familiar shrill of entitled bitchery very close by. There was something about this particular screeching that stuck out to me. Curious, I peeked around the shelf, and my suspicion was confirmed. The 70-ish-year-old beast of a woman who had several encounters with me at my restaurant in the past stood waving her arms dramatically and transitioning back and forth between fake tears and over-the-top anger and disappointment over the way she had been treated. She towered over the teenage employee, ranting about how she had been severely offended by the entire staff. Before the confused young lady could get a word in, the beast accused her of being useless and lazy and demanding a manager. By this point, I had everything I needed, but couldn't walk away. I pretended to read cards and anxiously waited to hear what crime the store committed against her. The manager arrives, and the beast goes back into her incoherent rant. The manager skillfully calmed the beast enough for her rants to be deciphered. Finally, I learned how the beast had been abused, and not just once, but on every trip to the Walmart, as if a conspiracy was in play. The young lady she was screaming at just minutes ago was the latest offender. The misdeed the girl was guilty of, not looking up and smiling as the beast walked past, and after being scolded for her actions, not immediately apologizing and offering to find her boss for more reprimanding. She continued to list the abuse she had endured at the hands of the staff over the past couple visits. A cashier not counting back change. A worker replying to a thank you with a no problem instead of you're welcome. A stock boy that didn't move out of her way immediately, making her stand there waiting impatiently for at least an entire minute until noticing her and letting her through with an apology she could tell was not sincere. This was getting so out of hand that she would be left with no choice but to call corporate. But the beast was going to be overly generous with her kindness and offer one last chance. Her actions would be determined after seeing how effectively this crisis was managed. First on her list of demands, the young associate from earlier should be made an example of. Whether that meant termination or docking her pay or whatever consequences would teach these workers their place. After hearing that, I couldn't take it anymore and revealed myself from around the corner. The beast was still in hysterics about what actions were needed to resolve this issue when I interrupted her. I completely ignored the beast and made direct eye contact with the manager. I spoke up about how I had been nosy after recognizing the voice. It pretty much went like this. "Excuse me, I'm sorry, ma'am, but I've been witnessing this entire interaction from the start. I know this woman. This girl didn't do anything, and I doubt any complaints she makes are legitimate. This lady used to be a regular customer at the restaurant I manage. This is what she does. Nothing anyone here did actually offend her. She's just trying to get as much free shit out of places as she can. When we told her if she kept trying to scam us, we'd ban her, she stopped coming in." A guilty smirk briefly flashed across her bright red face. She quickly straightened it and went to defense mode. "Every time I ordered there, it was wrong. Every single person there is completely incompetent and disrespectful. This is not what I do." The funny part, about 10 seconds into my conversation with the manager, I noticed this beast was not the beast. In fact, I don't think I had ever seen her before this, but I kept talking, even after I realized that, so I wouldn't look stupid, and because I'm sure she was probably the exact same way everywhere she went. And even though I was mistaken, there was apparently at least one nearby restaurant that my statement applied to. I kinda wanted to duck out before anyone questioned me for more details, experiences with her. So thanked the manager, who thanked me in return. As I was walking away, the new beast yelled, "Your shop has awful customer service. I'll never go back. This is not what I do." I simply replied, "Clearly it is," and continued to the register. I've seen both the manager and the young girl since then working, so can happily report that the beast's recommendation for termination was denied. But I never asked anything else about it, so don't know how it was resolved otherwise. In imagination land, the perfect ending would be that they laughed in her face as she fake cried while being led out the door by security. Have you ever been treated like this in your job? Tell us in the comments below. It was early one morning around 6 a.m. We had just opened. This was before we were a 24-hour store. Normally, it was quiet, with just 1 or 2 customers going through tills. But on this day, there were around 10 to 12 people waiting, and only 1 checkout open. So I opened up another till. The first customer paid and left, and then she was there. The customer known as Moaning Minnie. She lived up to her nickname, complaining about everything. I scanned her shopping. She only had 2 or 3 items. It came to a little under $10. She gave me cash. I rang it up. The cash drawer opened and I gave her the change and receipt and closed the drawer. She exploded, screaming and shouting obscenities at me. She insisted I'd stolen from her because she absolutely fucking knew she'd given me a $20 note. I called the checkout manager, who told her we would have to get the till checked. That made her even madder because we didn't believe her. She wanted me sacked, wanted the police called, and told all the other customers I was a thief. The manager asked me if I was okay, and I laughed and said she should use her key to open the cash drawer so we could resolve the issue. She did, and inside, everyone standing nearby could quite see clearly. The till had full sections of small change, but in the paper money slots, there were 4 $5 notes and 1 single $10 note, and nothing else. That didn't placate her. She wanted my pockets turned out and my shoes off. Even that didn't satisfy her, because she said, "I took 3 $20 out of the cash point, and now I only have 2, and I haven't been anywhere else apart from..." And then she stopped and said, "Oh, right, I've made a mistake." And without a word of apology, she picked up her items and left. And as she walked away, everyone who witnessed the incident, staff and customers, were laughing at her. She came back the next day, bold as brass, to do some shopping. The checkout manager met her at the till and told her the store manager had decided she would not be banned from the store, but must in future pay only by credit or debit card. I never did get an apology. What's the strangest interaction you've had with someone over money? Leave a comment below. That is the end of the video. I hope you liked it. Subscribe for more content like this, and hit the like button to help us out.